Welcome to SF Commercial Property Conversations with Bruce Bean, where Bay Area investments meet expert insights. Get ready to unlock the strategies of commercial real estate success.
All right, today we have Scott Furniss with us from 7th Street Development. Scott, it's great to have you. I just want to go through a little history of how you got to where you are. You're now with 7th Street Development. So give us a little history of how that happened.
Sure. First of all, thanks for having me on, Bruce. I appreciate it. I'm excited to talk to you about what's going on in industrial. I guess my dad's been in the business in real estate for a lot of years, but I think my interest first kind of began when I was attending USC in Los Angeles, and I was studying broadcast and digital journalism. While I was there, a lot of my assignments required me to attend city council meetings or planning commission meetings
Oh, wow.
throughout LA County. And while I was waiting for my item on the agenda to report on, I'd see these real estate developers sweating it, trying to get their projects approved or secure a building permit. And they were always focused on what seemed to me like the most trivial details, but were obviously very important to them. So it was always like very kind of interesting to me to see. So then out of college, I knew I wanted to work in real estate, but wasn't sure what type because there's a lot of different types of real estate. So I started working at a residential analytics company that provides data on homes and home sales throughout the country. So I got a little taste of residential. Next, I got the opportunity to work for River Rock Real Estate Group. It's a third-party property management company. There, I got to help manage a portfolio of office properties throughout Orange and San Diego County, and I learned a ton there. Doing property management. After that, I got kind of a chance to look at retail, and I helped manage a retail mall up in Washington State.
Oh,
And
wow.
after getting a couple years experience, I finally got the call from my dad, who's the owner of 7th Street Development, that I had something of value to bring to him and was brought on to do the property management, asset management, and leasing of the company's industrial portfolio. And when I'm not doing that, I'm trying to help out with development and other opportunities.
That's fantastic. Wow, you've gone through the full spectrum almost. I mean, from multifamily to retail to office and now industrial. So you've just about hit all the buttons on that one. So that's fantastic. So what's happening in the industrial market in LA these days?
Sure. There's a lot of different kind of submarkets within LA, and it's interesting to see what's going on. But at our new development, it's in the city of Westminster. That's kind of west and north Orange County. To sort of explain where it is for your listeners, that's actually been a very active market. What we've seen in the last couple years is a huge surge in demand from aerospace and defense companies.
Oh,
It's been crazy seeing the transactions going down every week. Kind of the 800-pound gorilla in the room is a company called Anduril. They are headquartered in Costa Mesa, and they recently announced in the last month that they're going to do a 1 million square foot like campus in the city of Long Beach.
wow.
So in addition to them, there's other companies like, for example, Vast Space. That's kind of an aerospace company. And other companies called Astroforge. They do hoping to mine asteroids for minerals. And
Wow.
what we've seen is these guys are taking down buildings left and right, and it's been fantastic.
That's interesting. I guess I knew Long Beach was a bit of an aerospace area, but I didn't realize that Orange County was in the aerospace world. So that's intriguing to me.
Yeah, I mean, I know you have some good universities up in the Bay Area, but
Oh,
we
yeah,
got some good ones down here too with USC, my
absolutely.
alma mater, UCLA, Caltech, and UCI, and it's a great place to live. And they're actually, I've been told, is there used to be a big aerospace industry like back in the 80s, and now it's kind of returned. I mean, I know there's a lot of stuff going on in geopolitics, but it seems like there's a huge demand for defense spending, and a lot of these guys are getting government contracts, and they need a building like yesterday.
Oh,
So
wow.
they're active in the market.
So are you building to suit or are you building to spec?
So we're building, it's a 70,000 square foot building on spec. So when I say that, we have no commitment from a tenant or buyer. We're currently under construction and slated to be done in September. We're actually tilting the walls for the building. What's today is Friday, April 3rd. We'll be
Yeah.
tilting the walls on Monday, April 6th.
Wow.
But we don't have a user yet. So right now we're trying to design the building to appeal to as many uses as possible. Obviously, aerospace and defense has kind of been the active, the most active in the market. But that's not to say we couldn't get, a general e-commerce user or a warehouse user. Or the interesting thing about this site is it's situated on the 22 freeway. So our building will be visible from the freeway. So we'll
Oh,
be able to
wow.
offer signage on the freeway. And we found our zoning permits us to even have like a retail use. So maybe
Oh,
a
wow.
vehicle dealership or maybe like a Quinn Caterpillar. I'd love to have them if they're listening.
So are you figuring you're going to subdivide the building? What's the ideal?
So it's a 3.5 acre site. It's a bit small for an industrial building. I mean, 70,000 square feet is big for me, but for industrial, that's actually considered smaller. We looked at trying to do maybe a multi-tenant unit, but ultimately we found that I think a single tenant would work best for that. And we wanted to make sure that we were able to provide a private gated yard because that's also very important to defense guys and warehousing users. They like to have their own private and gated yard. So we did look at trying to do a multi-tenant kind of configuration, but we decided to go with the single tenant.
So are you putting dock eyes in or what are you doing?
Yeah, it's so a lot of these features, it's interesting because we're building it on spec. So we're trying to make the building as versatile as possible. So
Hmm.
for example, one of the things that comes up is how many dock high doors do we put in? How many grade level
Right.
doors do we put in?
Right.
We what we did is we're gonna have 7 ready on day one, and we're including knockout panels so we could add 3 more. So if somebody needed it, we could add more. We'll have one grade level door. And then another thing that we've gone back and forth for months on was power because
Ah.
these aerospace guys, they say they need all the power you can have, as much as you can. And if we landed like a warehouse or e-commerce guy, 400 amps is plenty. So we're betting big, and we went with the 4,000 amp switchgear. So
Oh,
we'll be able to
wow.
provide, yeah, 4,000 amps. So you'll be
Whoa.
able to refrigerate the whole building if you want. Um, it's funny. I was talking to another developer about it because we're agonizing over this decision, and he's like, you know what? Just pick one, and you'll probably be wrong. So.
It won't matter. Just pick one, and go forward and see what
Exactly.
happens.
Exactly.
Well, are there data centers down there? I mean, 4,000 amps. Would that run a data center? I don't even know.
I mean, we've looked at it loosely. I know that we could definitely air condition the entire space.
Yeah.
Um, we talked about maybe getting a data center. I haven't seen one yet, but that was something that like came up when we were discussing how much power. I mean, there's buildings twice the size of us that have 4,000 amps of power, so I think we're well situated for it. If the user came along, we'd be happy to do it.
Who's the power company down there?
So we are working with SoCal Edison.
Oh, okay.
It's typically them or yeah, I think every building I have in Southern California is SoCal Edison.
So how difficult are they to work with? It sounds like they've got plenty of power.
They do have power, and I mean, knock on wood, they've been good to us so far. So obviously, I know that's usually a long lead item, but we've been fortunate to work with a consultant and also work with SCE, and luckily we've done some of these before. So it's been once again knock on wood, but it's been good so far.
So I'm curious, from concept to now you're tilting up, how long's it been?
So we have been moving at a pretty darn quick pace. We did the demolition in December,
Oh, what was
and
there before?
Yeah, so it's been 4 months and we're tilting walls. So I'd say that's
Wow.
not typical. We're moving pretty darn fast. Let's see, there was some grading took a little while, and the groundwater is actually pretty shallow because we're close to Huntington Beach
Oh,
and the coast.
oh,
That was a new challenge that we'd never seen before. So a lot of it was we installed a system called geopiers to make
oh,
sure that our slab is steady and that we won't have any, I think they called it liquefaction.
right.
So kind of getting to learn about that was exciting, but we should be all done by the end of September as long as things keep going well. We're fortunate we have a really good relationship with our general contractor, Norm Wilson and Sons, out of Long Beach. We've worked with them before and they've been fantastic, and we think they'll continue to be fantastic.
So how long ago did you purchase that property?
So we purchased it. I got to make sure I get my timeline right. We looked at it initially 2 years ago, didn't close, and then came back a second time around and with the same seller and purchased it. I think it was end of 20. To make sure I get my dates here right. I think it was end of 24, and
Yeah.
then got entitled for our building and started the demolition in December of 2025.
Did you have some income while you were getting your plans drawn up and so forth?
We looked at that. The previous owner was funnily enough, another aerospace company called
Oh,
Bodycoat,
oh
and
wow.
they had four buildings on the site, and then some homes that were actually from the 1950s that they
Oh
were using
wow.
as offices. So I personally, I wouldn't want an office in there, but we kind of looked around at maybe leasing it to somebody short term, but luckily we were able to get our stuff entitled pretty darn quick. So we're kind of moving quick. So
It sounds
no
like
income.
this company went to a different site. They went to a bigger site.
It sounded like they were consolidating operations and that
Ah,
they were gonna like move their staff to another part of Southern California. I think that's what
got
they
it.
told
Yeah.
us.
So timing was everything.
Yes, like all things in real estate.
All things, all things in real estate, timing is what it's all about. No doubt
Yes.
about it. So what do you think? So the market in Orange County, Southern Cal is pretty good. The mid market in LA is kind of medium, and the north market is slowing down.
I think San Gabriel Valley, that's a lot of like e-commerce, at least in my experience, a lot of e-commerce and warehouse uses, as well as some food and beverage. I think a lot of the tariff talk in the last year kind of put the brakes on things as
Hmm.
everyone was trying to figure out what was going on, what was getting tariffed, what wasn't, and that kind of slowed people down a little bit in the last year. And but I will say I think things are picking up a little bit. Obviously, the stuff in the last month, I'm no geopolitics expert, but a lot of that I think has given people a little bit of pause. But
Mm.
think things are picking up. And then the Inland Empire, we own a multi-tenant, kind of a small bay industrial building. So it's
Hmm.
more like flex space. So a little bit of office in front and then warehouse space with kind of a grade level door in the back. We found that that market has always been strong and we only expect
Mm.
it to get stronger, primarily because we can appeal to a lot of different industries. Like we have guys from medical uses to like retail, like distributor use to I even have a sleep lab in that project that does
Oh
sleep
wow.
studies. So it's when one industry or two industries are down, there's usually another industry that kind of picks up the slack, which is
What's
why
that?
we
What's the average space size there?
so the average one I'd say is about 3,000 square feet.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
What we do for some guys is they'll move in, take one unit,
Mm.
and then they'll say, "Hey, business is great, we're growing." And we'll usually just knock down a wall and move them next door and kind of grow them as they need. So we found that like a truly flexible space, we're able to kind of do different configurations to fit them into exactly what they want. So we find that we keep tenants for a long time, and it's a really sticky space, is what we find.
That's fantastic. How big is the total building?
So there are two buildings with a shared parking court. It's about 67,000 square feet.
Oh, wow. Okay. So we're talking 20 tenants or something like that?
24, yeah, right
Oh,
about that. Yeah.
yeah. Wow. Yeah, flex space in the right market is fantastic. No doubt about it. So that's great. So what's your crystal ball saying? Can you make any sort of prediction about what's happening in the near term?
I was thinking about that question. I think the big thing right now is we're tilting walls on our building in West Orange County, and I'm just so curious who we're going to get, if it could be a retail use, industrial, e-commerce use, a food and beverage guy, or aerospace. But I think I I think aerospace and defense, I think, is going to continue to be kind of a market leader, especially in West Orange County. We'll see what happens with everything going on in the Middle East, but I expect the demand to continue to increase. So that's kind of what I see.
No, that's fantastic. So what do you think? Are you using a third-party leasing agent or are you doing your own marketing?
So I found that for our multi-tenant project, we do the leasing ourselves. I
Mm.
actually office at that project, so I'm usually kind of Johnny on the spot. I'm able to tour people the same day. For some of our other projects in LA or Orange County, we'll typically use brokers to do it, especially with the Orange County project. There's so much going on, so many things to do that we want to leave it to the professionals to do the marketing and outreach for us. And we have a great team with CBRE at that one, and we're using I think Dom Commercial Real Estate Services out in LA County right now. So they've been great to work with.
Yeah. So it just kind of depends on the market and who's working the market and who you decide to go with. Uh,
Yeah, exactly. I mean, every you realize every brokerage company has their team that operates some of these really niche markets, and these guys will know every single building, and they'll talk about a transaction going down on some street, and I'll be like, I don't know where that is, but these guys, so
yeah.
which is exactly why you hire brokers that know their market. You don't have someone like me that is just entering the market trying to list the space. So we
Yeah.
leave it to professionals.
It's a lot to work on. So I'm curious on your own marketing, are you just using CoStar LoopNet or how are you marketing your property?
Yeah, we do LoopNet, of course. It seems like they're the dominant player. I'd say that's where most of my leads come from. But we're on AIR, CRE, Crexi, I think, is a competitor
Mhm.
of LoopNet. I've gotten a decent amount of leads out of there, but if there's a website and they're marketing property, we want to be on it. So just the trouble is updating the listings all the time. I feel like anytime there's a change, I'm like, oh man, I got to make this change 5 times. But
Yeah, no, it's painful, but worth every penny of trying to get it to go forward because you never know where a lead's going to come from.
exactly.
Yeah. Well, this is fantastic. I look forward to talking to you again when in maybe next fall when your building's completed. I want to see what happens with that whole situation.
Yeah, hopefully it'll be leased when it's done. Hopefully we pre-lease it, and I'll be popping a bottle of champagne when I talk to you next. But
Okay. All
we'll
right. I'm
see.
looking forward to it. Let's keep in touch. In the
Absolutely.
meantime, we'll see what kind of shared referrals we can do from here.
All right, that sounds great. Thanks so much for the time. I appreciate it.
That's a wrap on today's journey through the SF commercial real estate scene. Ready to share your story? Visit sfcommercialconversations.com/guest. Your insights could lead the next conversation.